why is the seafood, why is the fish so good in this country?
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat Portugal, I think, in terms of, fresh, high quality seafood. I mean, look at all that coastline. It's a small country, but it's got a massive, massive coastline. And so there's a lot of opportunities for fishermen to go out and catch some really great fish and really unique fish that you can't always find around the world. I mean, lapis is one example. You can, in the Azores, just scrape those off the rock and eat them right then and there. Not, I will say, not my personal preferred way to eat them. I do love them with the butter and and the garlic, but simple and fresh either way. And I think one of the things that I love doing in Portugal is going to the fish markets. My personal favorite one is the one in Matosinhos, which is just outside of Porto. And I love that one because I think it's a great tourist experience because you can actually go into the market and wander all the stalls, and then you can pick your fish that has all been caught and landed that morning, and one of the restaurants in the market will cook it for you so you can enjoy seafood that's literally just been pulled from the
Yeah.
ocean right then and there. And they obviously do a great job cooking it, and it's like a really cool experience that I feel like is connecting people one step closer than just going to a restaurant would. It's like you actually get to go speak with the fishmonger, and they're all like super nice and helpful and can walk you through all the different species, and then you get to eat this seafood that was literally just pulled from the water. And I think it's so cool, and I think like a really authentically Portuguese experience.
We had a Michelin chef on the podcast. He's got 2 stars, I think it is now. He might be getting 3 soon, but he has a restaurant down in the Algarve now. One of the things that he spoke about is that they don't overfish
Mm.
out here. Uh, you've done a bit of a deeper dive into fishing and fish farming and
Mhm.
all of that. And it's something that now over the last, thanks to like Netflix and these documentaries and stuff, more and more people are actually
Yeah.
thinking, where does my fish come from? How was it farmed or made, or how were they bred? What are they doing right here in terms of fishing, in your opinion, on the Portuguese coast? Because there's a lot of places where there's a big coastline. It doesn't necessarily mean they're doing things the right way. But what, in your opinion, are they doing right here in terms of that side of things, the fishing side of things?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question. And I think, one of the interesting things well, one of the things that's different, I guess, from where I am anyway, is that in Portugal, the fisheries and aquaculture is governed by the EU. And so there's the EU fisheries policy, which kind of governs all the fisheries there. Whereas where I am in Canada, it's quite different. Most of it is governed federally, and then some of it is provincially, but we don't have like a big um, overarching body like the EU, which I guess is doesn't just apply to fisheries. I think it applies to
A few
everything.
things, yeah.
Yeah. And so the EU, I think is a really good global leader in terms of fisheries policy. And I think because of that collaborative nature, like they have to be. And one of the other things that I think people should keep in mind about Portugal and, specifically about the Azores is this is this is a resource that is incredibly important to them for not only food security, but also economic livelihoods. And I always, come back to this too because of the Azores, because the fishermen know that if they overfish, if they deplete the resource, if they abuse the resource, that's it. There's going to be nothing left for them. Like that's the end of food security and job security. And
Mm.
so I always argue that I actually think, fishermen oftentimes can be some of the greatest stewards of the ocean. And, not just fishermen, but farmers and people who work on the water are oftentimes the greatest stewards of the ocean because they see firsthand every single day what's at stake and what there is to lose.